Grüß Gott. Wir sind da wieder bei einer neuen Folge von Translating Love mit mir, Wolfi.
And me, Danny.
This is a new episode, but not really.
Of Translating Love.
That the podcast you all love.
Wait, what podcast?
Translating Love podcast.
What's a podcast?
A podcast is a cast that pods.
Oh, that's good to know. Like a Tide Pod.
Yeah.
Can you eat it?
No, you should not eat a podcast. It's really poisonous.
Or a Tide Pod.
We're here, I don't know. Technically it's the last day of 2020.
No, we're supposed to pretend like we're recording.
But we're pretending that it's the new year. So Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year!
I hope you, as we say in Austria, slid over good into the new year.
That's so weird. Guten Rutsch.
Guten Rutsch, which means
good slide.
Good slide into the new year. 2020, I mean, we talked about the last episode briefly. It was a weird year with a lot of hurdles. A pandemic, if you call that a hurdle. A crisis, a major health crisis. And I don't know, I read a lot online that even making it through 2020 is a big achievement, and I agree. I don't know.
The thing is, I don't like I usually don't like this question anyways, but when people ask at the end of the year, they always ask, like, what did you achieve in, there's 2 months left or there's 1 month left of the year. What did you achieve this year? And I already don't like that question.
But I don't think
because I feel like it puts
that this year.
Yeah, they do. I've seen it being asked just like normal.
Oh.
And it bothers me because I think that this year was so difficult, especially obviously for people who lost people, for people who were sick with COVID, but also people who have anxiety and people who are extroverts. I think it was really hard. Mm-hmm. And so honestly, if you just got through the year, great job. I mean, seriously, that's a great accomplishment for this year, just making through
I agree.
The whole year.
I agree. That's it, everybody. Nah, but I don't know. I think we talked about this in the last episode again. I think there's still a lot of cool things that happened this year that were really nice and uplifting and positive in a lot of ways. Mm-hmm. And I think that's better to focus on that just say, okay, 2020 was shit because it was not total shit. I mean, sure, if you have no income, if you lost somebody, if your family got wrecked by the virus or whatever, then sure, okay. It might be a little different for you, but still, I bet in all the chaos and darkness and I don't know, I bet there are some bright
positives.
Spots, some positives, some nice things.
It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to have had accomplished something or something major happened in your life, but just there are little positives in every single day. So I think it's important to try to recognize the positives in each day and each week.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And we thought we'd just talk a little bit about this next year, about 2021, and about what we want from this year in terms of, I don't know, relationship things, goals, or whatever you want to call it.
#couple goals.
But also, I don't know, like individual goals, but not necessarily in the sense that I want to work out every 2 days or whatever.
I am going into this year differently than I normally do. I'm one of those people who always is like following the resolution train, or jumping on.
That's what I was thinking about,
jumping on the resolution train where it's like, oh, I'm setting my resolutions for this year. And I always do it, but I never actually do them.
I mean, have you seen the gyms in January and then gyms
in
it's
always
March?
How it is. It's always how it is. But I never follow through with them for the whole year. And this year, I think in general, it's just there's a different vibe around everything. And so for me this year, I'm more going into 2021 with intentions for the year. Like mantras or just what my intentions are for 2021 and not necessarily like goals that I want to achieve or things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more about spiritually going into 2021 instead of like with a list of things I have to do.
That sounds good.
What about you?
I don't know. I mean, I just want to try to bring in the positive into the next year and be optimistic and I don't know, try to educate people and talk to people and inform people, and also be more positive and try to cut out the negative on, especially on social media and online, because it's just annoying when I go on my social media and I just read some really negative bullshit that's not even true, but people spread it because they are afraid of whatever. And yeah, I just try to cut that out more, but also try to fill the new year with more people again. I don't know. I think we have a good chance that at the second half of 2021 we can maybe see more people again in a safer space. I mean, we did this year too, especially in summertime. But
in the
still,
summer it's easier.
In spring and now in fall and winter, we rarely saw anyone, and it was shitty, as many of you know, or all of you. But yeah, I think that's for me, that's a big thing. But also in terms of our relationship, to maybe try to do things again that we haven't done this year or haven't done as much this year.
Like,
I don't know, like climbing in mountains,
oh yeah,
for example. That's something I'm looking forward to, and also maybe travel again, even though it might just be to your brother in Amsterdam or something like that. Yeah, that's my goal for this coming year.
I think for me, my biggest intention for the next year is to, like you said, with positivity, to try to be more aware of the positives and acknowledge the positives more. Especially when things are feeling, because again, like in the cold months, it's much harder to really do anything because you can't sit outside really. And keep safe distance. So you kind of just have to be like, okay, can't do anything, which is fine and smart. But I think it's important to remember the positives in those times. But another intention I have is to not let myself get so, and I've been doing this already, but not let myself get so consumed or frustrated by the media, and to not put so much time into reading shit that I know only makes me angry. Because it's so easily accessible. So to be able to keep myself informed without overdoing it and becoming obsessive about all of that stuff.
Yeah, it's a good point. Especially, I had so many encounters where people are blaming the media for fear mongering and stuff like that. And it's I mean, sure, they, especially in the first month of 2020, they milked the COVID story, but at the same time, it's not like you need to read that news. It's not like you need to watch it all the time. It's not like you need to buy into all of that stuff.
Well, and you can be informed without consuming so much.
Right.
You're in control of what you read.
Right.
You're in control of how much you read. And I think that's the key, is to only consume what is enough for you. To be informed, because I think it's important to be informed, not to completely ignore it, but to not let yourself fall into the traps of reading conspiracy theories or getting pissed off at comment sections of things. That just leave it alone.
It's just, I don't know, it's so much energy wasted, I think. And also, especially, I think what you put out there comes back in a way. And with the internet, it's almost echoed. So if you try to put something against something out there, it comes back against you in usually multiple ways. And it's the same with negative news or something. You don't feed yourself with that all the time. Once in a while, just keep yourself informed, and that's it. I think it helped me a lot this year to, at some point, force myself to stop reading news and just go into that once in a while and stay informed like that, which was fine, but it helped my mental health, my mental sanity a lot.
Back to intentions though.
What?
Yeah. You went on a little bit of a tangent there.
I thought we were on a media COVID something.
We're not.
Okay.
And another intention I have is like more self-love, more doing things that make me feel good. So like if that means working out, that's what it means. If it means yoga, that's what it means. But being more like moving more, because I think this year for me was really draining in the sense that it took a lot of motivation away from me. And so, but this morning I woke up, for example, and I did 30 minutes of some spine mobility yoga, and it was the best. Oh, yeah. And it felt so good. So just to do stuff like that more, because it really releases a lot of tension and anxiety, I think. And for us, I think one thing that I would love for us to work on, or continue to work on, I should say, in 2021 is our communication. And I also think that this last year we've both done really well with communication, but also there have been like spans of months at a time where it's kind of faded a little or hasn't been as good, I think.
I don't think so. We had some ups and downs, but
in terms of like arguments and stuff, I'm actually really impressed with how little we argued this year. But I mean more so in terms of like just taking time to like sit and talk with each other about like our relationship, about how we're doing. We didn't do that much this year. We did it with our therapist, but then once like the lockdowns and stuff started coming, we stopped going because just for safety reasons. But that kind of thing that we try to make more time for each other. That's like we decide, hey, let's not watch a movie, or let's wait an hour to watch a movie and let's just talk for an hour, or let's, you know. I think that's also nice to be able to check in with each other more, and or even just use that time if we have nothing really to talk about, to use that time to like just do something together that's not watching a movie, like play a game or.
Yeah, I like to watch movies.
Yeah, we can still watch a movie.
We never watch movies.
We watch a movie. For our listeners, we watch a movie I would say, almost every single night. There's maybe 2 nights in the month that we don't.
But all people do that, right?
No. Yeah. But those are like my intentions and things that I want for us in the next year. And obviously the things you said, like mountain climbing and all of that. But I don't think that has to do with our relationship. It's just...
It's nice.
It is nice.
Also, I want more cool projects the coming year. Mm-hmm. Or 2021. Since we're already in 2021.
It's not Thursday.
No, but yeah. I'm looking positively forward to this new year, and I know I'm totally aware that, I don't know, things won't change super fast, like magically, and I'm totally aware that change need time, and
change also doesn't have to come with a new calendar year. It can come tomorrow. It's can gradual. Come, yeah.
And that's, yeah. And also, I think we have some really cool podcast ideas planned, or like episode ideas planned for this coming year. I mean, the next week's episode is going to be amazing.
It's a good one.
And yeah, so stay informed about that, people.
And I highly encourage you to listen to next week. It has not so much to do, just as a precursor, not so much to do with couple relationships, but more the human relationship. But I think it's a super important episode.
I agree.
And I really, really encourage you to listen to it and learn something, because it will help everyone as humans to better be able to connect with each other and understand each other. So I highly recommend that you listen to it.
I agree.
Before we go, do you have anything else you want to say?
No.
Any other goals that you have for like couple stuff, or
no,
nothing?
No.
Okay.
What I just want to say is thanks to everyone who is listening, who keeps listening, and who was there from the start and from the beginning of the podcast. I mean, we started it almost a year ago. So the anniversary is coming up soon, and it's
Is
kind of
it?
exciting. Yeah, in February.
In February? I thought it was like in April or something.
No, in February.
That's cool.
And it's kind of exciting to, I don't know, saw that thing expand and grow, and
Yeah, it is cool.
and people reach out and like spark a conversation and get feedback, and you know, you hear from people like, hey, I really love the podcast, and you're like, oh, you listen to it, it's so nice, and it's the most joy. It's so fun.
Well, and it's also nice because it's a nice way for the two of us to have a conversation together, because it's not like we practiced the conversation or something before. It's just a natural.
Wait, it doesn't say practice here on the sheet.
On the teleprompter.
Yeah.
No, but it's a nice way to just like have a conversation together. And we haven't missed a single episode since we started. We've released one every Friday, so once a week, which I also think is really cool.
Consistent.
And that's also good to have like a routine together that we do.
And what I really like about it is there's so many different episodes. We covered so many different topics, from mental health to relationship related things to not relationship, but more human relationship related things. Black Lives Matter. We did a really cool episode with your friend Brandon, which was super interesting and also
informative.
Also kind of sad, obviously, but informative and just
and important.
Important, right? Or we did one with Shannon recently, and she spoke about her
limb difference
and how she had super interesting. Or Kim, we had Kim on, and we might have Kim on soon again. Like some really cool, interesting people we kind of, I don't know, brought into this world of ours, and we sparked some really cool, interesting conversations, I think.
And that's the other thing too. That's something that we really love having guests on. And if you have something that you want to talk about, whether it's mental health or relationship stuff or, you know, whatever it is, you can reach out to us and we'd be happy to have you on as a guest. We love having guests on.
Yeah. And if you come on, you get a free VCR player.
But it doesn't work. You have to get some parts for it to work.
It's broken. But it's free.
It's free. So yeah, let us know. We love having guests on, even if we don't know them.
Disclaimer, you don't get a VCR player.
But yeah, so if you have something that you want to talk about, either like ask us or that you just want to share something about your story, then we'd love to have you on.
Also share.
Yes, please share, because sharing is caring. And share the podcast, share your food, share your love.
Money.
Nice. But yeah, please share the podcast. Subscribe if you like what you listen to.
Rate and review the podcast on Apple Podcast.
Yep.
And yeah, if you want to keep in touch, just contact us on our Instagram. We have them linked in the description.
Cool, yeah.
So, to a good new year.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year, everybody. We see you. We hear you. You hear us soon.
Bye. Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.